one of the best places to go win football games, go play football at, and it was in Northside Warner Robins. So it's a lot of history and tradition behind that place. So my goal is to get it back.
No, 100%. I think you're the man for the job. I think, you know what I mean, just a matter of time. But I want to get to what you said about the culture of just really seems like Central and South Georgia. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's dying to get a hand in on the tradition. Like you said, you got the ball boys been there for a while. You got a old legendary coach who still rides the bus with y'all. And we don't really see it up on the north side. It's a lot of things going on. So when you had that type of culture, like what does that kind of do for you? It's just like, man, the locals care a lot, 1,000%. I gotta come hard every day.
So it makes you have to win for them. I mean, you go to the grocery store and how we gonna be this year, coach? How we gonna be? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Are we gonna be better or how the boys doing? And that's just going to Walmart. That's going to I mean anywhere. I was actually coming home and the neighbor at my house, here goes the north side. How's it gonna go? Like you just walk outside and just everybody kind of recognizes you and because down there on that side of town, it's not no other school, right? So everybody's north side. And then across Watson, we got a street and it's called Watson. So that's the kind of Warden Robins area. So on my side, it's all Northside fans, right? And when I say you can go anywhere, you got a Northside shirt on, they're gonna recognize it. Um, I went and dropped the player off, and like they just asked and start asking questions about it. How are we doing this year? Because everybody wants to win everywhere, right? And
Right.
down there, I think it's a little bit more intense off the winning. Because look at where Hoko's been. Coach Ed was doing an amazing job over there. Coach Smith over there, he's doing an amazing job. Warner Robins went on their run for those years. So Northside had his run for years. You know what I'm saying? So the history of winning in Central Georgia is really throughout. You know what I'm saying? It's something that happens. They're used to winning, right? And when you're not winning, everybody wants to know why and when we're going to get back to the top, right? So the culture is a winning mentality. You know what you got to do to get up there. You got to stay irrelevant, right? And right now, what we're doing right now is in a sense, a big reset to trying to get it back to where it was from a mentality standpoint. Because those kids that I have now didn't half of them wasn't even born when they were winning state championships, so they don't
Right.
understand it. They don't understand the filling up the MAC and the intent, the rivalry with Warner Robins and the county teams. So we're just trying to go play a good brand of football and just put it in these young guys I had played last year.
How do you reset the culture? Being not from there, but you obviously embody the culture. How do you reset that for kids who haven't seen the winning before?
You just got to preach it as much as possible. That's one of the things I want. You don't want to become blue in the face. I mean, you said to this, you're blue in the face, right? We talk about it every day. We get some form of winning. We talk about a form of winning, right? And I've even had some of my players, my previous players, send me like little videos and clips about what it takes to go change their culture because we had to change the culture at Langston, right? Because Langston was, they were Coach Cannon did an amazing job. They were right down the middle of the road in a sense, and bam, we went on a run.
Right.
And the mentality when it got to a certain spot, it was we got off the bus, knew we were gonna win. The question was, but how many, right? So when it comes to them, where I am now, because I got a bunch of young guys. I had last year I brought 60 on my varsity roster, like 65 returning players off that varsity roster. Of that 65, maybe 54 were 10th grade down. So it's extremely young. It's extremely young in that aspect, and the inexperience, but they got to grow up. They're gonna grow up, and it's a good thing about it. Like you start putting the mentality in that many kids, you're gonna win games. You're gonna just win just off pure will and want to, if you got the right mentality in it. Um, so how do we do it? For one, we got to get small successes. I don't care what we're stacking. We can stack a rock, a brick, or a stone. That's really what it is. As long as we're stacking, that's really what we want to do. Stack positive days.
100%. Last question. I'll throw it to Najeh. What's been your favorite moment down there? Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me? I can't hear.
Ah, dang it. I'll go out and come back in. See if we can hear you, Nash. You on mute, twin.
Coach, can you hear me? Oh,
But,
yeah, you
hey, we got to sound the alarm, man. Coach Rance in the chat, man. My brother Boone, man. Yes, sir. Appreciate you tuning in, Coach.
think he back.
Yeah, I got.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, bet.
That was
Last
the
question.
infamous Ryan Andrews called me.
Not the infamous coach.
The infamous Ryan Andrews had just called me just then, so that's what
Hey, you know what I'm
that's
saying?
what happened. Yeah.
That's right. There it is. Go ahead, baby. You had a question for him.
Oh yeah. Last question before I throw it out. What's been your favorite memory? So there so far. At Warner Robins.
I would
Northside
have
Warner
to
Robins.
say I would have to say when we played Warner Robins, we had a legit funeral during the day, like at that pet rally. And so everybody dressed in black. My principal kind of led them to the with the casket and everything. And coming from us, I was like, whoa, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a real thing. Like they really, really hate. They say catch a demon, right? And they really, really hate each other that week. Um, and again, Coach Sams and I, we talk often, and even with Coach Westbrook about stuff like so. It's pure hate that week when it comes to that. So that might be my biggest deal, like, or going to the MAC as the head coach, because I went to the MAC several times and lost as a assistant coach. I played down there with Creekside. Went down there once when we were coaching at Creekside, and Langston Hughes went down there a couple times, and I was very unsuccessful every time I went. Um, so to go down there as the head coach on the of Northside Warner Robins, that was the first game was kind of breathtaking for me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. The environment
A
is
place with all
amazing.
that history.
Yeah.
So, Coach, I know you rebuilding a program. I got a chance to see you guys last year. I seen you guys again in the spring game this past year. What has been different about your approach, Coach, from year one to year two, and what's some of the biggest things you've learned from year one, Coach?
My approach this year is to really, really just let them be who they are, play how they are, play fast. I don't have some of the biggest players in certain positions, but we can run, right? And we're finding ways to get that pressure when we can. We're gonna come off the edge. We're gonna come up. We're gonna try to move a little bit on defense. Because again, when it comes to when I brought back a bunch of young guys, right? Like a bunch of young tweeners, kind of what I had in Langston. And so I'm putting these guys in space and let them go make plays. And offensively, we took a deep dive into what we had success with last year and kind of added some stuff in um, that I've done in the past, and it's all working. The boys are bought in. Um, I think that watching us play against Peach County, we just got to play more football. That's the biggest thing. Experience, man. Think about yourself from your first year on your job to your fifth year on your job, right? The experience. When you get those things, you start learning a little bit more about yourself and who you are. That's kind of where we are. And my first game as a head coach, I can admit some stuff got too big. The moments got too big for me. But I had to get the experience. Whereas now I can go. I've coached in some of the biggest games in the state of Georgia now, so because of my experience, I'm more experienced, and that's all my football team has to do. We got to play more games. Like I said, and I think this summer we got a good schedule ahead. This summer we're going to Buford, we're going to Creekside, we're going to Georgia Tech. We're gonna go throw. I think we're gonna do stuff with a couple other schools locally. Practice. I just got to get them in as much competition based because again, I'm playing what juniors, sophomores, freshmen. Um, 16 freshmen played for me last year on varsity, right? So these puppies got to grow up. And I always talk to, I called Maurice last year, and I asked him, I said, dog, how did you do it? Because Maurice and I played together, Coach Dixon over at Creekside, we played together, right? And, I graduated from Creekside He's an alumni. And my reset, I had to go back to my basics. All right, I had to go back to understanding where it all started. What was my foundation in Langston? And Coach Dixon told me, he's like, brother, don't waver. Do what you know. You know what to do. And like I said, I got a ton of respect for bro. We grew up together. And just talking to him after last season when I was 1-9, and it was just a reality check of just do what we do, and that's where we are right now. We're in that process of just doing what we do. Um, some people, they can't see the vision because they want instant success. I'm building the infrastructure. I'm built for longevity. That's all I know how to do.
There it is. Period, coach. Hey, that was a great answer. I want to ask you about some new whippersnappers as you mentioned before, coach. I'm gonna roll his tape real quick. But quarterback, I know he's new. I know last year was rolling with pretty much a true freshman. And then this receiver, I got a chance to interview him, man. Real big. I think he's underrated. 6'2", 6'3". How do you just feel, coach, about that combination a little bit?
Hey man, I like it, man. Caden Little is that's a receiver. Like when I his one of his biggest attributes though is his blocking ability, right? He's physical at the point of attack. He's a kid for us that's really gonna have a big spring. And like you say, he's 6'2", 6'3". He can
Yeah,
run. He's strong. And again, Wyatt, he knows the offense kind of like better than the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, right? He flies around. He understands where he needs to go with the ball and stuff, So again, he was just a young guy, and again, I see that pick right there. It was wrong read, but again, that comes with that game, right? And
yes, sir.
I think that we're building off all that. And that's a freshman right here we got throwing the ball. That's Nick Bass's son. He was a All American receiver at Northside who went on to play at Georgia Southern. So that's his son. So again, we got a lot of history right there, man.
100%. What do you feel like you learned the most, coach, in that game? And what was some of your teaching that you had with some of your guys? Right? Like what were some of
Oh, that was
your
my son.
talking points? Like what do you say?
We just got to keep going. I think that
Okay.
like I said, we right there. I mean, Coach Westbrook does an amazing job, and his most of his team was coming back. I knew that. The players knew that. We just had to go out and compete, and we did compete. Right? We did
I
a
did.
lot better than we did in a lot of areas. I mean, defense was again flying around. We were getting in the backfield, had some tackle for losses. We were able to push the ball downfield some. We may have some scoring runs. I mean, some long runs. So we did some stuff, some positive stuff. I had more positive takeaways than negative. Some of the areas where I knew we would struggle, we did. And again, that's a work in progress. Again, I got a second year, really first year football team, and I can't say that enough. Just we keep our receipts, and we're gonna grow up. I just say that.
Period, coach. And then I want to ask you just an update on KT, man. Caden Turner, just what's the latest with him? I remember that was a freshman you told me about when I came to visit you, coach. Just how is he doing? How's everything going rolling with him? I know he's one of
Oh,
the
he's
two. I
going
think.
good.
Okay.
He's going good. We kind of moved him to corner. He's so athletic, man. He's so explosive. We moved him a corner to go play because he can, in a sense, he can run. He's ball skills through the roof. He's gonna go play some running back too, but he's gonna start more at corner right now, just because he's
Mhm.
long, rangy, and he's not scared of contact. He can play the ball in the air. And like I said, and we got a host of running backs. So
No, dude.
we needed a couple corners. So here and Broderick Humphreys out there at the corner, gonna do a damn good job for us.
How do you? Let me ask about development real quick of Broderick a little bit. Humphrey, he's a guy. I remember you told me about him early. There wasn't too many people talking about him, and he kind of started to gain that traction. Where do you think he's at right now, coach, compared to last year?
Oh, he's much better. He's much better than he was last year. Just off experience again. I think that he understands the body position and understand I'm long. I just want him to realize that to be 6'3", right? To be a 6'3" corner, just play
Mm,
long, and I promise you, you're gonna put stress on a receiver just being where you are. Look, I think Wimby might be on right now. He plays what extremely long.
yes, you do.
He's one of the best to ever do it. So when these guys understand what your true God given attributes are, and he starts playing with those, I mean, he's gonna be another one that's gonna pop like it ain't nothing. Like he has a bunch of mid majors right now. I think he's bigger than that. We just got to go put it on tape. Everybody's been down to see him because he's 6'3", 185, 190 right now. Um, so he has enough to go get it. He got the juice,
Okay,
and he's a
Elijah.
yes sir, no sir, great kid.
Yes, sir. 100%. Elijah Patman. How you feel about big boy Texas A&M? I mean, what you think about Patman, man? Big number 90.
One of the best I've ever coached.
Wow.
He's definitely one of the best up front I've ever coached on the defense side of the ball.
Wow.
He does an amazing job, man. I think that Elijah. This last year, Elijah played around 280. Right now, he's three. I think he's like 308. He got on the scale today, but he has his squat is 620, 625. His bench is want to say around 360, 375. His power cleans. I mean, he's really so he went from 280 to 308, all muscle, no fat. Because he looked slimmer than he did
He does.
last year, but he's
He
stronger.
does.
So and he is learning to play with his leverage and be long and stuff like that. So he's only gonna be a force. He's gonna play all around. He even may play some offensive tackle for us this year, just because he wants to win, right? And what do we, coach? Whatever you need from me, I'm not bigger than nobody, so I can go on the offensive side of the ball, and if I need to go start over there too, and he's willing to do that. So that says enough about him.
How does that help you, coach, in terms of, hey, this is a guy that's been in this program for how long, and this is an exemplary guy. Like, this is what the team should be. How does that help you from what you want to establish, coach, that cultural perspective of, hey, young guys, you see what Patman's doing, both sides of the ball, whatever he can do to help his team win. I need that same thing from you guys too.
Yeah, I mean, when you got a guy that's a servant leader, it's easy to follow behind, right? If a guy says, "Hey, y'all should go over there and help over there," but he doesn't do it, but if the guy doesn't say nothing to nobody, he just takes himself over there and puts himself over there because he knows what it takes to win. He knows what we got to do to win. That says a lot. Like so, the younger guys, anybody in the program can't question anything with Elijah Patton right now because he's given everything he has. The things that I challenged him to work on from last season, this season, he's worked on. I mean, he's running to the ball. He's sideline to sideline. He looks like a Division One football player every day we go out there and everything we do. And again, he exemplifies.
I think we lost him, Najeh. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. Maybe not. Can you hear us, coach?
No, I can't hear him.
Got it.
Try going out and come back in.
Yeah, y'all leave it. Come right back, coach. I got cut out.
I think he just left. Coach B back just said, I was gonna ask him, man. I said I was just looking at their schedule. It's pretty much like carbon copy from last year though. But what do you think about this schedule, brother? While you wait for Coach to come back. Oh,
yeah, man. I don't think it'll be any easier, obviously, this year, but I think it's something of what Coach has built before. Like, he plays the top guys and he plays the top teams. We look at Coach Boone, and I think the schedule, as he said before, is just going to prepare them, what I'm saying, for what they want to be in the future, right? Talk about the juniors, the freshmen, the sophomores. Playing the type of schedule they're going to play is only going to make you better. You know what I'm saying, in my humble opinion, and get ready for that region, right? Westlake, Warner Robins, right? All those games help you play for that tough region against Coffee and Lee County. On. Can you hear him?
Say something, Coach. It's a little staticky.
You go back out and come back in.
He said, "Do you need him to go back come out and come back in?
Yeah, try it again. Try one more time. And maybe whatever you was doing at the first time, just do that again because you had the audio was coming through very good earlier. Eagles Landing, Mays, Warner Robins, Westlake, Redlands, Tift. Tift is tough. Lee County is tough. Coffee is no joke. Houston County. Yeah, this is a gauntlet, bro. All
Okay,
right.
let's
Take
see.
2.
Got me now.
Now I can hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, coach. So you say he was exemplary. You had cut out.
Hello.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can hear it?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay. I know you was talking about Pat, you said exemplary is where you had left off.
Yeah, he exemplifies leadership, man. You know, when it comes to, hey, follow my lead. I mean, again, a lot of his brother played there, so he understands and he talks to his brother a lot about it. And he knows what he wants his legacy to be. He puts me in the mind frame of a Antonio Martin, right? You know, Antonio, we were like, what 2-8 his junior year, his sophomore year, and then his senior year, we ended up playing the state championship. But Antonio, and he did what Elijah's doing. So they are so similar to me, the way they're attacking their senior season.
Thousand
I can't
percent.
do nothing but be more proud.
Got you. And then, coach, I wanted to ask you. So you always give us some young bloods, some young guys to watch out for. So who's some ones we talked about several players, but who's some young guys for you we need to watch out for?
Um, Zach Montgomery is an incoming freshman. He's gonna play varsity. Malik Walker is a young running back. He's gonna play another varsity. I think he was the B2C running back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. Whatever you just did. Yep, we can hear you loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, yeah. Zach Montgomery is a incoming freshman for me. Malik Walker, he was a B2C running back of the year. I won the office, won the deal over there with Alex. He's another one coming to me, man. Again, you can't stop talking about Justin Garman, a rising sophomore, Genoa Hicks, a rising sophomore. Um, my linebackers are two rising juniors, Travis Walker and Caleb Green. So again, everybody we're talking about, Zion Neely, a 10th grader, gonna start at safety. I'm a probably honestly, when it's all said and done, even this year, play about only 5 to 8 seniors. That's how young we are still. When it comes to it's about 5 to 8. I think we counted. It's like at most we may get to 8 seniors play because everywhere else we're filled with a bunch of guys that got 2 or 3 more years in high school football. Again, some four. The only way I know how to do it, I got this from Coach Cannon. We're gonna play them young and play them a long time. I'd rather you leave with 40 high school games. You got a lot of experience. You done seen a lot of stuff, right? And again, I'm gonna let you play some JV, but if you close, I'm gonna get you in when I need to get you in so you can get that burn and get that stuff out the way. I don't want to wait till your senior year. You getting freshman reps. And I think that's kind of what I ran into when I got down there. We had a bunch of seniors and juniors who hadn't really played a ton of football. And again, I don't, the previous regime, Coach Bailey did an amazing job. I'm always tell everybody that. But I know I want to do some things different. I want to get some young guys on the field. And I'm going to continue
Period.
to do that. That's the only way I know how to be it.
Exactly. You've always been like that, coach. And speaking of, I want to
Yeah.
talk about some of these games you got, coach, a little bit. Obviously, I know you made the schedule like this, but I want to talk this non-region schedule real quick with you. Eagles Landing, Mays, Warner Robins, Westlake. How do you think that prepares you, you know what I'm saying, for this gauntlet of a region? You got Lee County, Tift, Coffee, House, Hoko, and then TCC.
Hey, my non-region schedules give me a little bit of everything.
Mm.
Um, I know that for me, if I want to play, you know, different teams, right, than we normally play. Coach over at Eagles Landing, he and I talked. We had to go run it back. We had such a good time with those 2 years. We wanted to do it again. Of course, I want to get my team in the city as much as possible. Because I think if you pay attention where state championships come from, they come out of the city, right? So I got to go
Oh,
play the best. And
that's
and playing Mays at Lakewood on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. I've done it before. I want them to experience what it is, right? And so because I feel like that's one of the most, being from Georgia and being from Atlanta myself, I know what that place brings on a Friday night. And
Hmm.
again, playing against coach and doing over there a good coach Booby doing a good job over there at Mays. So why not? Then Warner Robins, I mean, that game speaks for itself. That's a whole week in itself. Warner Robins week, and it ain't just a game. Win the week, and then Westlake. Um, I think they have one of the best NFL traditions in the state of Georgia, right? And I think that's going to continue. They always do a good job. And now they got Coach Witt over there as the head coach. Coach Witt gave me my first high school football job when he was at Creekside. So that it's a ton of respect for him. I just think our non-region schedule, we're kind of all over the place, playing a lot of quality team and a lot of different, things that we need to see. We need to see speed. We need to see power. We need to see a well coached team. We need to see team that's gonna be the complete package. And I think in our non schedule we got all that.
Hmm.
That's a playoff atmosphere game with Warner Robins every time.
gotcha. Last one, I throw it the back of the bacon. If we want to come to that Warner Robins game, obviously that's a big rivalry game for you guys. Playoff like atmosphere, college like feel. How we get to come to that one, Coach?
Hey man, you already there, man. Listen, it's already written.
I
What?
love
You
that.
ain't gotta ask me. Just pull up. I got
Love that.
That's
That's
love.
love right there.
So, coach, I said I've been graced to see a lot of your games. You know what I mean? When you was at Langston, I got to go back to one specific game. I should know you may remember so well that a game that honestly needs a lot more staying. Looking at where Carrollton is right now, and you know what I mean, being top five. August
Absolutely.
18th, and this was 2024, 2023. First game of the season, you come into Carrollton and you win that game. Let alone what people forget. There's a lot of cameramen that's, you know what I mean, infiltrating and running around the sidelines. So when you reflect on that time, man, just how did you process it? You know what I'm saying? Keep everybody in, you know what I'm saying, in order and win that game.
you. We stayed the course, man. We stayed the course. We hit our checkpoints throughout the game, and as a coach, when you get in those caliber games, you want to just keep it close to the second half, right? You don't want to lose it in the first half. And if you go back to that game,
Hmm.
Carrollton got a real big, real early, and it could have got out of hand.
Yeah.
And I just told my players, just keep playing one play at a time, one drive at a time. We got to stop. We go score. I think we brought it in within a touchdown. They get a kickoff return. So every time the momentum was able to shift, we were kind of able to get it back a little bit. We got to stop a big play, a sack. I think we sacked Juju like 5 or 6 times that night. Defense did a good
Yep.
job. And we just once we got it back, we got the lead going right into halftime. I think, and it was a slugfest. It was a slugfest. It was one of the ones, like you said, it goes down in history for me. That's one of the best games I've coached. It was on ESPN first game of the season. Um, Everybody was watching it. NFL guys were watching it. Some NFL guys, coach, they would text me about it once we got done. But to go down there in that environment and pull out that win, um, it was big. It was monumental for the program to just kind of go put us where we needed to be. Because those boys worked hard. It was a good group of kids. And for it to end like it ended, I was like
Yeah.
going back on it still. Like it gives you chills thinking about it, being in that moment where the clock was at 10, 9, 8, 7, 0. Then they go put 3 seconds on the clock. You got to play another play. And for it to end how it ended, I mean,
Yeah.
that was like, oh man, it was just a good one. And that's one thing that I know I, I've been blessed to be in some games like that, right? And I've been blessed to understand what it takes to coach at a high level. Because when you talk about my region, during my last championship run at Langston, I played TCC and I played Coffee along the one on that run. So I'm familiar with it, and I think that a lot of people don't understand the mentality it takes to go coach at those games. Even some of the coaches, like if you're a coach, you're not prepared for it. I've seen coaches, what I'm saying, get frizzled during those moments because it takes a lot to keep your composure to understand the next play and being prepared. So you talking about that Carrollton game, it's just bringing back a lot of memories of just about good quality games that I've personally been in. A lot of
Yeah.
situations, and some have bounced my way, some haven't. But just being in them, and I can reflect on them now. They're only helping me build what I need to build to get this program where I need to get it to.
100%. I want to dive a little bit more into that. You said about the mentality, the mindset. So I'm saying, how do you get that? How do you even get prepared? If you could take me inside this the mindset of coaches, just the mindset of Coach Boone. How do you prepare? Like Bill Belichick says, he wants to be the most prepared coach in on the sideline. So how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Still be able to adjust on the fly because a lot of things happen that game. It's a lot of things that happen in the other games. So how do you prepare yourself?
For me, I'm very much so a creature of habit. I think I eat during football season 3 different meals a day. Like for dinner, I'm gonna have only 3 different things. I'm very superstitious in a sense. I ain't gonna say superstitious, but I do the same thing. Like I'm a creature of habit. On Tuesday, I'm gonna eat this. On Wednesday, I'm gonna eat that. On Friday, this is my pregame. This is what it is. I mean, if I do something and I win, I kind of keep that thing going, right? So and if you look back, you probably can go back and watch some of the games. I didn't cut my hair till I lost
Really?
when I was at Langston. Yeah. Yeah, that was something I did, right? So
Okay.
me and one of my coaches, we would say, hey, listen, no haircut. We can't cut our hair till we lose. That was something we kind of stuck behind. It was real funny. But for me, like I like being prepared, and I always try to beat myself in my head. Like I never sleep during football season because I'm beating myself. I know it can. I always know it can beat me, and I just always want to make sure I'm prepared in those areas where we may falter a little bit, right? And so I harp on things that I know we need to get better at, right? If it's going into the week, if it's long distance, because I feel like we didn't have a great week blocking. We had a lot of holding calls during the week, right? So we're gonna try the long distances and make sure we get those second and 16 first downs, so keep those drives going. I think that's vitally important. And for me, I'm always beating myself. And I don't tell, I hadn't really told a lot of people that, but I beat myself before we play. What is it going to take to beat me? And that's kind of how we're always prepared. So a lot of times I ask my coaches going up into it, are we prepared? Do we have this? What if they do this? What's our counter? How are we going to come to this? How are we going to prepare week in and week out to make sure that we're getting the best out of them? How are we going to challenge them? Because I would always tell my teams, I got a number in my head. And I never told them the numbers, but I need y'all to get to my numbers. And most of the time they got to them. I got a first quarter number and a halftime number. And of course, at the end of the game, as long as it's by one, that's the number, right? So we kind of always kind of preach those things.
Nah, you real deep, coach. I know you got like a chess mentality mindset. Can you recall on like a life experience that made you, you know what I mean, made you think that calculated, or just how do you think you started thinking so deep, if that makes sense?
When I lost to Buford by one,
Mm,
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 that's a good one to
listen,
follow.
yeah.
that changed my whole trajectory. Like just being prepared for situations, right? Just understanding what it takes to get to be that, right? To be prepared in those situations, to overcompensate, right? To exaggerate preparedness. I went and did some reading and stuff on Mike Tomlin, Tony Dungy. I did some deep dive on kind of just their mentality of being prepared. Nick Saban's on what preparation looks like. What is preparation? How prepared can you be? And I
Mhm.
always try to be that, right? And I think one of the biggest teachers for preparation are losses. If you go and win everything, I think you're comfortable with your preparedness. But I think when you go get quality losses, I got two losses that stick out to me. Um, and I think when I lost to Buford was the first one. And when I had Aaron Nolan and that's his senior year, and we lost to Rome in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Those were two losses that kind of helped me change the way I thought, right? And I think that behind both of those losses, I played really well because me as a coach, I understood what it took to beat me. How did I lose? Because again, we lost to Buford by one. The next year we won a state championship. We lost to Rome in the second round. The next year we played in the state championship. So
Right.
it's just my preparedness, my coaches. Um, Buford taught me a lot, a lot of time. Coach Allen does a good job. I mean,
Oh yeah, Coach Hampton, Coach Hampton
amazing.
is a big head in the state of Georgia for sure. I figurehead, you know what I'm saying, a mainstay, a staple, I should say like that. But I want to ask you this too, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to ask about the Milton game too. So we're talking about the state championship. But before I get there, what do you think? I mean, Langston is a powerhouse program. Just talking Langston right here. What do you think separates Langston Hughes football to culture, just resources, whatever it is, from a powerhouse like a Buford, Carrollton, or Gainesville, Grayson?
Resources, the amount of resources we can get to support, bro. Like honestly, like Coach Hines doing an amazing job, but I guarantee you, it's the support can always be better. And if you understand what Langston's sits, it's not a lot of businesses around.
No.
Because you got Union City, and a lot of Union City goes to Creekside, and you got Camp Creek Marketplace that goes to Westlake. So, and where Langston Hughes sits, you have a plaza with a Publix, a Zaxby's, and a few other things, and that's really it. And
Yeah,
and other places, you don't have a lot to pull from when it comes to resources. And let's the transient parent in Metro Atlanta isn't tied to Langston Hughes forever. And I think the oldest alumni at Langston Hughes may be 28 to 30,
wow, that is
34 at the max because the school was open in 2000, 2011. So it's no, Gunner was the first Mr. Langston Hughes. So however old he is, that's kind of where the senior classes are, right? That's how old they are. So um, that's it, man. I think you just got to keep going and just build the alumni, the fan base, and the resources. That's what's going to separate Buford, us from the Bufords, and the money. Because again, in Fulton County, I think it's like 18 high schools. What and in their count, in our county, what you do for one, you got to do for all in a
right.
sense. So that's kind of one of the races where we can't go get ahead. You just got to kind of stay right there where you are and do it and use what you got. And like I said, Coach Hines jumped in and he's doing an amazing job. Just kept that thing going, and it's still kind of where it is, right? It's still when you see Langston Hughes on the schedule, you got to pay attention, because he's one of the greatest offensive mind I've ever been around. So I know he's gonna have them ready to go um, over there. So
100%. And then, Coach, I got to ask you about the Milton game. You had a lot of talent that year. Do you feel like they had a couple more horses than you did that year, which led to their win?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
that
you know,
that was that Milton national champion year, right?
right.
Yeah. All right. Says enough, right? We went. Listen, it was hard to go again. We were right there with them. Another game, they had an opportunity to kind of just take off with it. They had a couple touchdowns early. It seemed like we couldn't stop them, and bam, our offense woke up. We knew that team. We had a very very fast team, right? And we can go. We got Maurice Gleaton going early. C5 did an amazing job getting the ball, pushing the ball downfield. We were able to run away. Carson Baker took off
Right.
down the sideline a couple times, scored two touchdowns. So we were right there in the midst, and I think right before half, you go back and watch it. Uh, Christian Langford took a good hit on his shoulder, and he wasn't able to push the ball downfield vertically like we were doing in the first half. And they kind of his shoulder was hurting a little bit. I think he had a knot on it. Looking back on it, but that kind of took a little bit of our playbook out, because we couldn't really push it like we wanted to downfield vertically. And it was like I said, we had some blown coverages. Just the moment for some again was big early. It slowed down because I think after halftime we scored once. They may have scored twice. After halftime, we got some stops in, but I mean, again, I think that was one of the best teams to go through the state of Georgia ever too. They were loaded. Most of that team is playing on Saturdays right now.
Facts.
You ain't lying.
Coach, the last thing for me, I think, and I'll throw it back to Najeh. They have already had a lot of accomplishments on the high school level. They're going to do great things at Northside Warner Robins. You know what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time. But do you one day want to either go back or continue to climb the ladder, go college, and one day pursue maybe NFL job, or just say stay a college head football coach for right now?
You know what? Somebody asked me that the other day, Coach, why you ain't in college yet? And it's one of those things where um, I follow God's lead. If He takes me to that level, He takes me to that level. If He leads me where I am, I stay there. I think right now, I, it's a big difference becoming from being a head football coach to being going up. I think I control my time now. When I go to the college level, I'm at somebody else's time.
Right.
And me being, I'm 42 now, so I'm getting up there in age. I think this is year 21 for me in high school football. So I'm on the other side of that thing, right? So I what they say, I'm ready to enjoy life a little bit. But again, wherever God takes me, if He takes me to that level or the level above that, I'm fine with that. I'm ready to rock and roll anywhere because I'm always ready. Um, but right now, I mean, I'm fine where I am in Northside Warner Robins. Keep going and coach these guys up, and just this was gonna feel a whole lot different. This was gonna mean more. Um, Me going to change this one around because I'm going to
Mm,
change it around.
Mm.
100%.
Yeah.
What advice, Coach, would you give? Obviously, talk about Coach Witt being very big in starting off your career, and obviously the profound respect you have for him and scheduling him and all that good stuff, and what he did for you. What young coach do you feel like kind of embodies you maybe a little bit, or that that you think is kind of like, hey, he's gonna be next up. He might be a head coach one day. And what advice would you give him in order to be this successful and being able to kind of have some of the same success you did?
Um, it's a couple of young guys. I mean, my boy Wilder over at Lovejoy. He's a good one. I actually hired Morris Mitchell, who was the head coach at Westlake, right? And I brought him down with me, and those are two guys I know for a fact have the drive, the determination to remind me of, kind of where I was when I was young and getting started and go. They got the drive, man. It's all that's what it's all about. You can't get enough of this. You gotta go do some hard things to put yourself in position to go be successful. You got to be a student of the game. You got to load your toolbox up. You got to be able to take criticism. And both of those guys asked me, what can I get better at? What do you need help with? I talked to Wilder. He said, Coach, whatever you got to throw out, I'm catching. And but he's like that around the state though. So I know he's only doing nothing but loading his stuff up. And like I said, Mitchell's with me every day now, and just talking to him. Because before he was with me, he was Rico Zachary's, who's at East Carolina. He was his defensive coordinator. So he's been around Rico, who's in college now, and then myself. And he's a great hire for me. Because one, down there, he understands the intensity and the tempo of everything in Metro Atlanta too. So that
Mm.
helps me because it's if you haven't seen it, it's hard to visualize it from what somebody says until you play it against it, right? But he was in it with me. So tempo and speed, man, that's one of the biggest things that he helps me understand, and he knows, he picks my brain all the time about different stuff. We sat in my office today and talked a little bit after practice today about different stuff, and he said, "You're right." And again, for the younger guys that want to do it, you got to love ball. You got to love being uncomfortable. You got to love not being as good as you thought you were, right? Because
Mm, mm.
and this game is very humbling from a coaching standpoint because it's always somebody better than you. So a lot of coaches don't like being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And being in uncomfortable situations kind of make me not stress the small things. I can only worry about what's going on in my house, not in everybody else's house. And so for a young coach, take that mentality and just build off that.
Once you follow, I went up, coach. I want to ask you, why do you choose to just be a mentor? I feel like a lot of times it's hard, especially for black men, to find, even mentors, whether that's coaching, whether that's journalism, whether that's broadcasting, whatever it may be. It's extremely difficult to find that coach at a high rate. So why do you kind of take the onus of that? Why you decide to do that and be able just to pass it on too for kind of that next generation?
Because if we don't do it, it's gonna die. One, and I think that I was blessed, man. I mean, God did all that for me. God put me where I am right now, and I just look at it as somebody was a blessing for me. My goal is to always try to be a blessing for somebody else, um, and I'm always make sure I tell them what it is because you never know where it's gonna help somebody, whatever kind of what they're going through. They might be at a stalemate or a stuck point, but if you go give them a little bit, that might be all they
Mm.
needed to go get over that hump, right? So I'm gonna always make sure I try to go encourage these young guys to keep going, understand, and because like Ryan called me, but me and Ryan often talk about when we first started coaching. Listen, we were getting hazed left and right back in the day when I started. Jesus, some of the stuff that we had to do because back then we had to go. I was a trade film guy, so regardless who we played, I had to go meet halfway, and I had to come back with tapes, and I had to come back with seven boxes of donuts. I had to come in with three pulps, three non-pulp, orange juices, cups, and plates every Saturday. Right. So that's kind of where that was where I started. And I wasn't getting paid. So that's why I
Sheesh.
started coaching high school football. Right. So that was my so I'm always be able to give back. Yeah, now time done changed. You tell some of these young guys to go do it, they won't come back. You won't have tape or you won't have donuts. They next thing you know, they on Instagram coaching somewhere else, right? You know what I'm saying? Or training. But that we laugh about that now, just kind of where we were raised in the coaching world, how we were raised to where we are now. Just how times changed a little bit. But again, you got some young guys that are really, really hungry out here. Um, and I think that I'm going to continue to try to go just get my message out, and anybody that I don't gatekeep with what they call it, right? I'm gonna tell anybody. I give you my everything. I don't care. I'm an open book. Because if I play you, you got to beat me just like I got to beat you, regardless of what you know. So that's kind of always where I am and what I think about.
What does last one I throw back to Bacon? What does a successful year look like this year for not Northside Warner Robins and you, coach? What does that look like in your eyes?
We just got to go be better than we were. We can't have we don't need to have the same mistakes. We don't need to be mental midgets. We need to be able to take some adversity and build off of it. We need to be able to put some wins together. We need to be able to stay in games. For success is continue to play as a team, to be better, for be better brothers, hold each other accountable a whole lot more. Our team GPA is gone up every semester since I've been there, which is amazing. So that's one of the biggest successes we always talk about. Look at our deep GPA. We've been over 3.0 since I got there, and this semester was over 3.1. For the second time in a row. So success for us is just put it all together, being a complete team, winning some ball games.
Period. Hey, coach, the name you were just talking about, you tapped in. Coach Wilder, as you can see,
That my
coach.
boy right there. Listen, student of the game. Student
He,
of the game. That's my guy.
he was just talking about you, coach. One of the young ones that's next up, coach. You don't know if you heard that, but you just missed it. Go ahead, babe.
Nah, coach. Nah, I mean, it's an honor. You know what I mean? Coach Rand's tapping in again once again.
Hey, that's my dog Rance, man. Hey, listen, one of the best to ever do it, baby. He got that
Nah,
thing rolling. Hey, listen, we going to a paddy camp. Hey, man, Rance, take it easy on us, man. I'm bringing them young boys up there, man.
You heard that,
They let
coach?
them come. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. I see my boy just committed today. Don't let him go. He can take that day off.
yeah,
Listen. Wait, I see Var. Hey, listen, take the day off.
thanks.
I don't need him to hurt nobody.
Yeah, thanks. Go see that single part, man. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the sights.
Yeah, yeah. We good. I pack this thing up and go back to Warner Robins.
You know what I mean? I'm just really trying to come my head, sharpen a little iron. You know what I mean? Everybody
Hey,
come
listen,
in peace,
man.
we will leave in peace.
Hey, man. That's like I said. One thing about it, I don't hesitate to go play the best. I think our paddy camp we're going to Buford, and then in our pool we got Buford, North Gwinnett, and then we going to Creekside. I think again, national champ, state champ. I kind of
Right.
put my kids in those situations. I'm gonna put you in the fire always so we can go see what we got. I mean, I don't want to get a false sense of hope. I want us to go play the best always. That's who I am. That's the only way I know how to do it. I got that from my AD, former head coach Willie Cannon. He said to be the best, you got to go play against the best, and
Mm.
I continue to pride. Again, I think we're in the best region, so we just got to keep that going. What's the sense of does it make to go play a lesser team in paddy camps, and in your region you got Coffee, Lee, TCC,
Mhm.
Hoco, veterans in your region. So why even
So,
go anything less than best? So that's kind of how we pride this thing, and that's how we taking it.
nah, 100% coach. Coach Boone ain't ducking no smoke, man. You know what I'm saying? For lack of better words.
Nah, we
But
gonna go
coach,
at it now. I mean,
I want to ask you,
again,
coach.
it's a we're gonna learn from something.
Now go ahead, finish what you're saying, coach.
No, I'm saying even in those losses, we're gonna see. And listen, I want you to see how we're not physical enough. I want you to see how we're not fast enough. I want all this stuff to come to fruition every time.
100%. But I wanted to ask you, coach. So, you know what I'm saying? Now we always trying to innovate this media's landscape and keep pushing the needle forward. Since we got Coach Rance, Coach Wilder in chat, I feel this would be a perfect opportunity to ask. And so we gonna start. The plan is to live stream some of these paddy camps. You know what I mean? Now we understand get a little raw, but you know what I mean, from coaches' perspectives. You know what I mean? For the exposure, what it can do. What are your thoughts on this? Is it a good thing or is it too much access? What you think?
Um, I'm both sides of it. It needs to be seen. One because again, for those that think they're really really good, those paddock camps have humbled a lot of people. You know, on the flip side of that, paddock camps, is all gloves off
Yeah,
boxing match, right? So
right.
it's one of those areas where it's a thin line between are they doing too much? We're gonna just cut it off altogether.
Okay.
Georgia high school come in if they understand some of the stuff that goes on in some of these paddock camps. But I
Mm.
mean, I think it's testosterone's at all time high when you get to paddock camps. You're hot. You've been out there all day. I
Yeah.
mean, they done hit your man low. You hit your man swing. I mean, listen, it gets active, especially if you go to the right ones. I want to go to the right ones where it get active.
100%.
Coach ain't ducking. No smoke.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I
We
gotta
right
know.
there.
Listen, I gotta know if I look over my shoulder, they behind me, or did they go get on the bus already? So I got to put
Mm.
them in it. You know what I'm saying? We got to be in the fight again. We always go and play fundamental football, and we always keep it clean. My relationship with a lot of coaches is pretty good. So when it comes to we understand where it's getting too hot. We'll know how to calm it down, or switch up the teams, or we'll do whatever we need to do. So all the Panther cats we've gone to have always been successful. We get out of what we need. So yeah. So to your question, I think that's a double-edged sword. Yes, we want to get the access, so we let the world know what we're doing. But no, we don't need the access. Everything doesn't need to be filmed. And us older coaches don't nothing need to be filmed.
Right.
We just understand, use that moment to go coach it, to talk about where you are and where you've been, and amongst your staff and your team, go back and look at the pad accounts. But I don't think it needs to be live streamed because it's some people that might, it ain't always as clean as the games.
Right. 100%. 100%. I'm glad I asked. I appreciate your wisdom there, Coach. I guess last thing for me, Coach, when you think when it's all said and done, what's young man, still young man, what you think your legacy will be, you know what I'm saying, when that time, 20, 30, 40 years comes?
Um, I gave a lot of kids opportunities. It's my biggest. I want that to be my legacy. It's not about the wins. It's not about the losses. It's about giving these kids an opportunity to go play at the next level. And now, I mean, playing at the next level is life changing for some. So
Mhm.
that I want that to be my legacy, because when I jumped in this thing, it was all about the babies, and it's gonna continue to be that for me. Just helping everybody grow. I think last football season, that first Saturday, I think we had anywhere from 58 to 65 football players playing that would play for us in the last 4 years at Langston. So that's again my legacy, is he was able to help a lot of people.
Well said. Anything, Naj?
Nah, man. Coach Boone, always appreciate you coming on, man, and giving us the real deal spiel and giving us your time, man. We know you're one of the big time coaches, man, but you always treat us with great respect, and you're always very humble, coach. So, man, we appreciate you. We'll definitely be by for the paddock camp and definitely for a game this year.
Hey man, I sure appreciate it, fellas. Y'all do it. Continue being a vessel for everybody, and you guys have really taken off, and it just keep going. I sure appreciate y'all for having me on, brother.
Yes,
Nah,
sir.
anytime.
If y'all need anything, just give me a shout.
We got you,
100%.
coach. Locked in with you.
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
See you
baby.
soon,
Appreciate
Coach.
it.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. The great Coach Boone, man, in the building. As Coach Rand said, Southside Swamp, man. We appreciate him tapping in with us and coming up on the show, man. We're gonna try to probably do that a lot of the Mondays, man, this upcoming season, man. Try to get the coaches on. We still gonna do probably, you know what I'm saying, our around the way, you know what I'm saying, panel of guests. I mean, not panel of guests, panel of analysts and stuff throughout the state. Hopefully we'll keep that going. We'll see what happens, man. If not, that'll be me and Bacon. But we'll always try to have on at least one high school football coach, man, on every single Monday, man, to preview the matchup they got this week, talk about last week's matchup, how they building their team, and it's 10 weeks, so we definitely plan to do that. And also just recap all the action from across the state, man, so y'all can stay tuned for that every single Monday night. Probably not this late, but definitely around about 7:30, 7:15. You know what I'm saying? We just want to let y'all know, man. But as always, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hype up the video. Yes, sir. Follow Bacon Network, follow Najee Whoop. And we'll be back next Monday night as well. And also should be back live on Thursday. And remember, it's always peace and love.